The 1973 Constitution, composed of a preamble which is "We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of divine providence in order to establish a government that shall embody our ideals, promote general welfare, conserve and develop the conserve and develop the patrimony of our nation, and secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessings of democracy under the regime of justice, peace, liberty, and equality, eh, do ordain, do ordain or promulgate the Constitution. So the 1973 Constitution also composed of 17 articles. So provide for the shift from presidential to parliamentary system to of government. So the Constitution vests the legislative power in the National Assembly. So um, So it was supposed to introduce a parliamentary style government. The president was ideally elected as the symbolic and purely ceremonial head of state, chosen from among the members of National Assembly a six for a 6 year term, and could be re-elected to an unlimited number of terms. Upon election, the president ceased to be a member of National Assembly. So during his term, the president was not allowed to be a member of political party or hold any other office. So the National Assembly exercised the power to define, prescribe, and apportion the jurisdiction of the lower courts. So all justice of the Supreme Court and judges of the lower courts are appointed by the Prime Minister. So the Constitution retains the independence of the Commission on Election and establishes two independent constitution all bodies, so which is the Civil Service Commission and the Commission on Audit. So as well as the National Economic Development Authority, or the NEDA, or the NEDA, on August 24, 1970. So Congress enacted RA number 6132, otherwise known as the Constitutional Convention Act, for the purpose of conveying constitutional convention. Then the 320 degree delegate the 320 delegates met from June 1971 until 30 November 1972, when they approved the draft of the new charter. While in the purpose of drafting a new constitution, President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law on September 21, 1972. So the draft constitution was submitted to the Citizen Assembly from January 10 to 17, 1973, for ratification. So on 1973, President Marcos used Proclaim number 1102, announcing the ratification of the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. So the above constitution was amended in 1976, 1980, and 1981. There were minor amendments done in 1984. So that would be all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. I am Ninja Leslie Laran and today I'm going to discuss about the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So, in 1987 Constitution, which serves as the basis of governing, lays out of the people's right to elect their representatives or exercise their right to vote, and it includes procedures for determining who is eligible to run for office and who will be chosen. So the 1987 Constitution is divided into 18 articles. First article is the national territory. So the first article is the national territory, which is no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. Then the Article 2, which is the Declaration of Principles and State Policies, in which this article protects your right to life. This means that nobody, including the government, can try to end your life. It also means that government should take appropriate measures to safeguard life by making laws to protect you and, in some circumstances, by taking steps to protect you if your life is at risk. Then, in Article 3, which is Bill of Rights, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So the fourth article is the citizenship. This article defines the citizenship of Filipinos. It enumerates two kinds of citizens: natural-born citizens and naturalized citizens. Natural-born citizens are those who are citizens from birth without having to perform any act to acquire or perfect Philippine citizenship. Then Article 5, which is suffrage. This article describes the process for amending the Constitution, but the framers intended for the amendment process to be difficult. Although the federal government could add amendments, 3/4 of states have to ratify every amendment. Then the Article 6 is the legislative department. The liberty of adobe. So the fourth article is the citizenship. This article defines the citizenship of Filipinos. It enumerates two kinds of citizens: natural-born citizens and naturalized citizens. Natural-born citizens are those who are citizens from birth without having to perform any act to acquire or perfect Philippine citizenship. Then Article 5, which is suffrage. This article describes the process for amending the Constitution, but the framers intended for the amendment process to be difficult. Although the federal government could add amendments, 3/4 of states have to ratify every amendment. Then the Article 6 is the legislative department. The liberty of adobe. So the sixth article is the legislative department. The liberty of abode and of changing the same within the limits prescribed by law shall not be impaired except upon lawful order of the court. Neither shall the right to travel be impaired except in the interest of national security, public safety, or public health as may be provided by law. Then, Article 7, which is Executive Department. Article 7, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution vests executive power on the President of the Philippines. The President is the head of state and the head of government, and functions as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Force of the Philippines. Then the Article 8 is the Judicial Department, which is This article of the Civil Code of the Philippines provides that judicial decisions applying to or interpreting the laws of the Constitution shall form a part of the legal system of the Philippines. Only decisions of its Supreme Court establish jurisprudence and are binding on all other courts. Then Article 9, a common provisions. The state shall promote a just and dynamic social order that will ensure the prosperity and independence of the nation and free the people from poverty through policies that provide adequate social services, promote full employment, a rising standard of living, and an improved quality of life for all. So next is the Article 10, which is local government. The salaries of senators and members of the House of Representatives shall be determined by law. No increase in said compensation shall take effect until after the expiration of the full term of all the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives approving such increase. Article 11, accountability of public officers. The state values the dignity of every human person and guarantees full respect for human rights. Section 12, the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. Article 12, the national economy and patrimony. The state shall promote industrialization and full employment based on sound agricultural development and agrarian reform through industries that make full and efficient use of human and natural resources, and which are competitive in both domestic and foreign markets. Then, Article 13, Social Justice and Human Rights. The Congress shall give highest priority to the enactment of measures that protect and enhance the right of all the people to human dignity, reduce social, economic, and political inequalities, and remove cultural inequities by equitably diffusing wealth and political power for the common goods. Article 14, Education, Science, Technology, Arts, Culture, and Sports. The state shall foster the preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of the Filipino national culture based on the principle of unity in diversity in a climate of free artistic and intellectual expression. So the 15th article is the family. The state recognized the Filipino family as the foundation of the nation. Accordingly, it shall strengthen its solidarity and actively promote its total development. Then the Article 16, General Provision. All persons shall have the right to a speedy disposition of their cases before all judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative bodies. Article 7, Amendment or Revision. Amendment to this Constitution may likewise be directly proposed by the people through initiative upon a petition of at least 12% of the total number of registered voters, of which every legislative district must be represented by at least 3% of the registered voters therein. Then the last article is the transitory provision. At the earliest possible time, the government shall increase the salary scales of the other officials and employees of the national government. So that would be all of the 1987 Philippine Constitution.